Can you imagine being paid your entire month's salary in R1 coins and then having to live off them for the whole month? I'm joined in studio by the man who is doing exactly that, and we're going to call him the R1 man. Of course, that's what you're being called around the country.
Yeah,
thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
So what is the R1 Man initiative?
Basically, I got my whole salary paid to me in R1 coins. I had to freeze all my debit orders, actually stop them for the month, cancel my internet banking, my cell phone banking, and physically have to pay everything in R1. My car, my rent, my loans, everything I have to do it in R1.
I think the obvious question here is why?
It is obviously National Savings Month, and I was approached by Sanlam to try this experiment. And it appealed a lot to me because I'm always broke at the end of the month, and I actually had this conversation with my brother recently. That's why is it that every time we go up in a corporate ladder, we always have the same amount left at the end of the month? So it really appealed to us.
Now, you say that you paid your rent and your car payment with R1 coins.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen? And is your landlord still a fan of you?
They are. Actually, you need to go pay it at the bank. So first of all, I called whoever I needed to call to find out where I can pay it. And it's always been at the bank. But the problem was physically counting it myself just to make sure that the amounts are ready. Then I have to try and get it to the bank. And for specifically F&B, I had 7,000 Rand in R1 that I had to get to the bank. So I had this little travel case that I took for the wheels. Everything was so heavy I couldn't even lift it off the sidewalk. And yeah, basically the problem was I had to recount it at the bank as well. So we probably spent about an hour and a half at the bank just to get this whole process sorted out.
But do you find that when you're doling out R1 coins, you're much more aware of how much you're spending and where your money's going?
You are, but in the first week or so, I didn't have all my money counted out. So whenever I went to the shop, I actually just took a handful of money here and there just to go to the shop, and I didn't really figure out how much I was using at the beginning. But the whole purpose of the exercise was not to see how much I can save. It was actually to go through my day-to-day spending to see where the glitches in the system is, in my system, where I spend too much money and what I can do to fix it.
So what have you found?
Well, quite a few things. When you look at loans, generally when emergency pops up and you need a personal loan quickly, let's say the loan is 8,800 Rand, you'll get a loan of 10,000 Rand. And that's extra bit, you'll just, okay, I've got a little bit extra to do something else. But you don't think about at the end of the day how much you pay back. When I looked at the interest that I've been paying back on my loans, it was incredible how much money I was actually wasting in that. And as well, if you look at my car, you could have got a car for even 500 Rand less a month. And you would have been saving thousands and thousands after the 4-year period. I'm not a financial expert, so I haven't really worked it out myself, but a rough ballpark figure, you really make, you lose a lot.
Right, and you don't actually think about it when you've got a debit order going off your account or you're paying with a card, but when it's cash in your hand, it makes a difference.
Physically have to carry it, you feel the weight of her money. It's not just digits in the bank account, so you really lose the value of money growing up, not using cash. And like it says in the video, you get disconnected with your money.
Now, it's the 16th of July, as you're speaking to me. Is it? Yes, it is.
Isn't it the 17th?
17th,
Yeah.
Goodness. So, what am I looking at in front of me? You've had 17 days of the month to spend R1 coins. Is this what's left?
This is half of what's left. Quite a shock when I actually finished counting it out and saw how much I've got left, and I only basically finished counting about 5 days ago. And now the real budgeting is going to have to start. And by physically seeing what I got, I can't fall back on any overdraft or credit card or anything. And I don't want to borrow money either from friends or family. So I have to literally work with what I have at the moment, and I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm going to live my life as usual, but I'll just pay close attention to what I buy, where I buy it, and the little things. I mean, if you go to the shop and you buy a magazine or chocolate, I mean, it's not necessities. And I'll literally look at necessities from now on.
So we have about 900 Rand here,
Yes.
you said. And on a typical day, how much of this would you spend? So this is 100 Rand?
Yeah, you would look about at 100 Rand on a typical day, not a weekend or party night. It's just a normal day today. It would be probably about 50 Rand for lunch, maybe 50 Rand for dinner if you go buy it at a shop. So actually day to day you can actually put a little bit more.
That's about that much.
Yeah, plus minus, yeah.
Okay.
And I know you can live with less. still have a decent quality of life, and that's probably what I have to do.
So tell us, what specific things have you got going on until the end of the month that would be out of your ordinary budgeting?
Well, I do have a big birthday party coming up of one of my best friends on Saturday. And then I also have a big date night with my girlfriend on Monday.
Ooh, so you taking somebody out to dinner, presumably. Yes. How much of this do you imagine you would spend?
If I work on average, it'll probably be around about...
Oh, you're going somewhere fancy.
It's decent, not fancy, okay. But if you look at a bottle of wine, it's 120 Rand. 2 dinners, 200 Rand, so it's basically 300 and something, and maybe dessert to share. I don't know. It's something like that. It generally works out at about 400 Rand.
But this is the fascinating thing about having your money in front of you like this. It's that we can separate it now and then see what you'll be left to work with.
Exactly, and that actually made me worry, because I was sitting back and thinking, okay, birthday party that much, present that much, date that much, comedy night that much. I only have about 400 Rand left for the rest of the month to work with, and it's not a lot.
No. So what have your family and friends and loved ones said about this crazy scheme?
They were all quite supportive. My dad didn't actually know what quite was going on. When I called him and said, I'm going to be live on TV, I'm going to be in the newspaper, he was like, okay. And then after a while, he was like, oh, I saw you on TV, it's so cool and everything. So everyone has been very supportive, especially my girlfriend. She actually stood by me all the way so far.
Yeah, with all these 1 Rand coins.
She actually helped me count. So
that's a keeper. So going forward, next month when you get paid your salary back into your bank account and your debit orders are going off again, what lessons are you going to take away from what you've learned this month?
Well, first of all, I'll be very happy to get my cards back, just for the slip of counting. But I'll definitely think twice when I have to buy something, especially if it's something where I have to do it on credit, with my car or something like that. I'll definitely look at the rands and the cents, and shopping, I won't just go for brand names. I'll actually physically compare the prices, and with meats and all of that, I'll look per kilogram what it is and just try saving as much as I can.
Now, look, it's impossible for us all to get our salaries in 1 Rand coins so that we can have an idea of where we're spending and how we're spending. But do you have any tips or ideas of how we can be more conscious of where our money is going?
Well, it's basically what I've mentioned so far. Everybody has an emergency every now and then when you do have to take out a loan. Rather take out a loan a little bit less and try another way to get, let's say the loan is or you need 7,500. Take a loan out for 7,000 and try and maybe borrow that 500 from your mom, your dad, or your brother, your sister, or a friend. Because at the end of the day, that 500, the interest that you're going to pay on that, because you generally will get something for 8,000 and not 7,500. So it's little details in life that you just need to look at, because at the end of the day, the little details is what's going to cost you over 4 years. And yeah, that's basically all I can say at the moment.
Now, just before you go, I have to know, how on earth are you carrying around your money every day? Because this is going to make your wallet really heavy.
Yes. First of all, I had this little pink metrosexual Tupperware bucket.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it was a bit funny going to Canal Walk and doing my shopping in that. I did get some looks. But at the moment, yeah, when I do my big things, I would still have a Tupperware bucket, but a different color. And I actually found out that I can fit about 100 Rand into my wallet that I just keep in my pocket as well.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and you've really made us think about how we're spending our money and where we're spending it. So thank you for that.
It's my pleasure.